Hello listeners. Tonight's short story is another classic tale of some sort of body-snatching paranormal entity. I suspect it's either some sort of fleshgate, perhaps something related to the Fae given its setting being in Europe. Take a seat by the fire, and let me tell you this tale. I made an appointment with my psychiatrist tomorrow, because I honestly think I've lost it. This is my story. It's quite long, so bear with me. Just recently became 20 years old. Want to do something fun for birthday. Invite 3 friends to go urban exploring and hunt hunting with me in the Czech Republic. 2 destinations are abandoned underground facilities from the Second World War. One destination is supposedly a haunted hill. Another destination is a long tunnel just beneath the ground which supposedly abruptly ends. Still don't know where that one's supposed to be. You're catching my drift, I think. We had a lot planned. Group consists of me, a hipster, a comedic nerd, and a rich guy. Be yesterday evening. Hang out in the house of rich guy, check. Smoke some weed and watch Ace Ventura. Decide to take a look at the local forest while stoned. Meet some random dude in front of the forest. His English is pretty decent, I'd say even better than mine. He's pretty young, says he's there quite often. Says he used to do videos there. We don't really know him, but he seems like an alright person. Plus we might need someone who knows the area, so we ask him to chill with us in the forest. He takes a long look into the forest. Listen, I'm not letting you enter that forest. We're confused. Asking him whether he's a forest keeper or something. He completely avoids eye contact with us, staring into the forest. Nerd starts grinning and shouts, "Creepypasta time!" with a melodic voice. Some of us laugh. Forest dude is visibly annoyed. He mocks our laughter and tells us to fuck off. Rich Anon is getting upset. Hipster Anon too. Forest dude's eyes are trailing something in the forest in short bursts of movement. Without looking away from the forest, he says, "Creepypasta? Okay. So you're like into creepy stuff, right? I was too. He licks his lips and cowers a little as if he was trying to look beneath something. Nerd Anon is now joking about me having planned all this. Forest Bro is fucking pissed. His entire body language is saying, "I'm prepared to fight you." Fists clench and feet wide apart, he finally turns towards us. 2 options. You leave, or I'll make you leave. We mock Forest Dude for a little, but we turn around. Suddenly Rich Anon turns towards the forest again and starts sprinting inside. Instinctively, we follow him. Because we're a bunch of morons, we make bird noises while running past Forest Dude, who desperately tries to catch one of us. Forest Dude stops chasing right after the first tree. He's crying now, hysterical, begging us not to go inside. He's offering us money, his car, and some inaudible things. At this point, we really think he's gone nuts. After about 20 minutes of walking, Hipster Anon sits down on a large rock. We sit around him, starting to roll new joints. Talking about a restaurant where you can get an entire menu for like €8 and it's fucking delicious. Nerd Anon stares at his half-rolled joint. "Dudes, I'm out. Not smoking anymore. Total paranoia." He passes his weed on, but we don't really bother asking what's wrong since he always was kinda weird. We toke up and continued north. Sorry for breaking the story, but I should have fucking listened to that forest dude. We find a half-rotten, half-gnawed boar carcass. Nerd Anon is freaking out, begging us to leave. Claims he knows his shit. Claims there's no animal in these forests that's able to kill a boar. Getting a bad feeling as well. Suggests we head back. Hipster Anon says we should look for mushrooms on the way out, the normal kind. We spread out a little and look for mushrooms. Surprisingly, there are none. I get a little distracted by a weird stump and get separated from the group. As we get back together, it seems that Nerd Anon cheered up a bit. At least he's not frightened anymore. We make our way back. Rich Guy laughs loudly as he sees Forest Dude is still in front of the forest. Forest Dude is anxiously walking up and down. No traces of him being angry at us, just frightened or worried or something. We decide to apologize to him and offer him a beer. As we walk out of the forest, he's relieved at first, until he sees Nerd Anon. His eyes widen and you could see how his breath stopped for a moment as he turned pale. He suddenly smiles and accepts our offer. On the way, we're talking about nothing in particular. Forest Dude turns to Nerd Anon and asks him how long Rich Anon has lived up there, nodding towards Rich Anon's house. Nerd Anon says he doesn't know. We all remember the fucked up night we had when we had a Goodbye Rich Anon party in his house, since he was leaving our country to live back in the Czech Republic. Think that Nerd Anon probably smoked too much so he doesn't remember it. Forest Dude cautiously looks at one of us, as if he's expecting some sort of reaction. Fast forward a few minutes. We're in a hospoda, bar or restaurant now. Locals make comments about Forest Dude which I don't understand. He's annoyed by them. We start drinking beer in Metaxa, only Nerd Anon is drinking water. Forest Dude suggests we all play a round of darts. All but Nerd Anon agree. He wants to read something, plus he's not feeling too well. We start playing darts. Forest Dude sucks, and talk feels extremely forced. He suddenly tells us that he's getting a new round of beer. After I notice he's taking too long, I decide to follow him. He's standing at the bar, occasionally peeping towards Nerd Anon. I confront him, but he just puts his arm around me and draws me close while raising his finger to his lips, signaling me to be quiet. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I will say what I have to say. Please listen carefully. After that, do with me what you want. I gave your friend gold dust. My father is a goldsmith. Watch your friend. I try to inconspicuously peep over to Nerd Anon. The skin on his neck is bumpy, as if there was something beneath it. From the looks of it, wrinkled skin, or maybe feathers. I look back at Forest Dude, and he just nods at me as if he was trying to say, "Told you so." I'm fed up with all of this, so I ask the bartender for a pack of smokes and ask Forest Dude if he wants to smoke one with me outside, catch some fresh air. Forest Dude understands this is a cover for me to talk to him alone and loudly accepts the offer. Outside, it's night already. Don't expect answers, I don't have any, starts Forest Dude. Before I can say anything, he continues. I have no idea where it came from, how many they are, or whether it's my fault or not. They're allergic to gold dust, that's all I can say for sure. I laugh a bit, dizzy from booze and weed, and ask whether he's trying to pull an X-prank on me. He starts rambling about some rituals he did in the woods and that he started noticing weird things in his videos, and I don't really remember what else. He was confused and very upset. There's no commotion, he said. We should get inside, see what's going on. We walk in, but only Hipster Anon is sitting at the table. Nerd Anon and Rich Anon are nowhere to be seen. We casually ask where they are. Hipster Anon says that Nerd Anon wasn't feeling well, so he went out in the back. We keep on drinking, and I'm really drunk at this point. Rich Anon and Nerd Anon walk in. Nerd Anon is exchanging mean looks with Forest Dude. The rest of the evening is a foggy mess and not really noteworthy. Forest Dude left us for a while and we stumbled home. I wake up a little earlier than usual due to having to take a massive piss. Walk downstairs. Notice Rich Anon taking off his soaking wet hoodie and Nerd Anon putting away 2 pairs of shoes covered in mud. Ask them where they were. They say they were just taking a walk. Be suspicious about them, and try to do what Forest Dude did earlier. What a shame we agreed not to visit the underground facilities. I'd love to see them. They both say they don't want to. Starting to get really uncomfortable. Lock the door to my room and sleep until noon. Someone knocks on my door. It's Rich Anon. Says they all want to check out the forest again. Still confused and tired, I follow him out of the house. All 3 of my friends and even Forest Dude are standing there, all of them in a cheerful mood. They start talking about the neat stone on which one of them sat the day before, and how much fun it'll be. Forest Dude smiles. Let's go, he says. I thought you didn't want anyone to walk into the forest. He laughs and says that he had a bad day. We should totally take a walk in the forest today. I suggest that we have a small breakfast first. Rush up to Rich Anon's room and take 2 gold rings into his father's workshop. Manage to get some gold dust. At this point, I'm too scared and confused to think rationally. All of them are just drinking water, while I'm having boiled eggs. I ask them if they want some of the ham we bought yesterday. They all agree. I sprinkle the gold dust on it as I'm putting it on a dish. They start devouring it like crazy, giving me the occasional seductive glance. Their skin is bumpy. Their teeth are sharp. As they continue munching on the ham, I notice small parts of their fingers sticking to the table and whatever else they touch. They notice that I was staring at them and exchange meaningful looks. I think we should get going, Anon, says Nerd Anon. I tell them I'm feeling sick and that they should leave without me. Without hesitation, they do so. Walk up to my room. Lock the door. Call a psychiatrist friend. Get on X. Start thread. At this point, Anon begins responding to other users in the thread, but we don't have their posts. Well, first off, I'm not Czech. I'm actually from Germany. And second, I have no idea about local folklore, but gold dust doesn't ring any bells. To get the gold dust, I rushed into the workshop with 2 rings and started filing or rasping them, I don't know the proper word, until I had a little bit of dust. Quite a bit of the gold stuck in the rasp. Op here, if anyone knows Forest Dude, I'd love a link. I can describe him if it helps. Short dark brown hair and a slight side cut, medium length brown coat, sweater, fingerless gloves, black pants, black leather shoes. He was kinda thin, especially in his face. Oh, and he also had a slightly deformed nose, like if it was broken and not properly fixed once. Dude, the situation was surreal as fuck. I wasn't even properly able to process the fact that he presumably put something into a friend's drink. Op here. Holy fucking cow tits, that's Forest Dude. Please tell me this is an elaborate hoax to troll me or something. Fuck, guys, you really got me. But can we let this shit be? What's more rational? A psychosis from smoking too much weed on a regular basis? Or skinwalkers or shapeshifters or whatever? Up here, Nursko is in the southwest of the Czech Republic. The forest is called Jezvinec. I never trusted him in the first place. I hope fucking so much that you're right and I'm just being trolled. It's so fucking weird to see Forest Dude talk about Adventure Time. Absolutely surreal. Yes, that's the forest. We ventured in, well, perhaps 300 to 500 meters. It's hard to tell when you're inside. To clarify, we were all staying at Rich Annon's place as we knew him from school in Germany. After school, we went different ways, but we still occasionally hang out. His parents are currently in Spain, I believe. Right now, I'm in one of the 5 rooms in the very first story of his parents' house. Due to him being rich as fuck, we all got separate rooms. Also, it's late as fuck and they still aren't back. Well, actually, I'm kind of glad that they aren't back. Sorry, man, it's late here and I misread. We're staying at Rich Annon's place. His parents are currently gone. I don't know anything about Forest Dude's family, besides that he claimed his father is a goldsmith. My head is kind of fuzzy. Listen, I don't really trust my memory anymore. But that stump he's filming, and after a glowing light his camera dies. That's the stump I was distracted by while searching for mushrooms. A big, torn apart stump on a small clearing, looking like the stump and roots of a large tree after being torn out of the ground. I am noping so hard right now. Fuck everything, I hope I'm insane. Up here, it's 5 in the morning, and I'm very tired. They haven't returned yet from whatever they were doing. I managed to get a hold of someone uninvolved who offered me to stay a few nights at his place. I hope he gets here before my friends do. If what I saw was real, and I hope it wasn't, the gold dust lets their, true form shine out. They don't seem to notice, but you can see what's beneath the skin. Also, the higher the dosage, the more you can see, I think. God fucking damn it, this sounds so stupid. If they're playing a prank on me, I'll have to fucking murder them in their sleep. I drove off with a friend relatively shortly after my last message. I don't really plan to say where I am right now, so I'd like to keep a low profile for now. I'm really, really tired now. The fucked up thing is, none of my friends tried to call me. Let's assume for a moment that this was a paranormal incident. How fucked am I? Up here, last post for today. Entered the forest after following the street out of Chudinin. Walked for about 15 minutes. We'll get a few friends and look for my old group. We'll post whatever we find, as soon as possible. Everything is alright. It was all in my mind. I was the one. I am going now. Going to return with my friends. I'm not quite sure what happened that day. My memory is hazy, but everything is quite alright now. I am where I belong. Good night. Hello listeners, I want to thank you for listening to this story. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to hear more in the future. Click the bell icon in order to be alerted when I have more stories to tell, and until then, don't go into the Czech forests.